We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
The hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch? No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down.
I could do this all day.
If you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Maximum effort. How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an animal.
HR. Is HR.
Somebody call HR down here.
That man is playing Gallagher.
Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerd.
It doesn't have the record thing at the top again.
It doesn't, which is step one. But no, and something updated.
The drunkest guy on notices the recording thing on the
I
top.
always fucking forget the recording thing. Okay, we're good now.
It's amazing that we even have a
Welcome.
show.
Welcome
up,
to the
Brandon.
Nerds from Work, your once or twice a quarantine show and weekly quarantine escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and we give Tank such a hard time, but in all honesty, none of us would do it.
Because none of us know how to do it either.
That there is that.
He has like the most difficult job, in my opinion, and I just like giving him shit. Yeah. So let's talk about quarantine life, yeah?
Let's talk about that quarantine life. But since I'm the only one who has a drink to actually open,
Wait. I can open it.
all right, ready?
I
One,
can smash
2,
my
3.
glass into the blue. Does that come through?
Yeah. It was like,
We're filming on Cinco de Mayo, everybody. So I have a margarita.
I can do it again.
In true Cinco de Mayo fashion, I have margaritas.
Cinco de Drinko.
In
Yeah,
true
that
Cinco
shit.
de Mayo fashion, I had carnitas with Coke.
You made carnitas
Nice.
yourself?
No, I normally do, but
Carnitas.
tonight we ordered out.
I wanna get the perfect carnitas.
I'll send you my recipe. It's actually pretty dope.
I mean,
Do you guys have a slow cooker? Like a crock
well,
pot?
yeah.
I'll send you a
a slow
recipe.
cooker.
It's good, dude. Just trust me.
I want it to fall apart in my mouth. I don't want to chew.
No, yeah.
I think I got gum
Trust me, bro.
issues. I need less chewing for tacos.
Like, odd enough, I'm actually a pretty decent cook. Like, odd enough, I'm actually pretty good.
I cook really good pizza rolls.
Dude, pizza rolls in the
I had some for lunch.
air fried pizza rolls are so good.
It was a
you guys
joke.
wanna talk about
I
cooking?
microwave my shits. I don't.
See, I can't microwave pizza rolls. They have to be crispy.
Whoever can microwave a hot pocket and get it the same temperature like throughout the whole thing, you sir are a genius, or ma'am, whoever it is.
It's
like
a low
same
and slow.
heat.
You got a low and slow. You have to have a microwave that barely works, so you double.
Barely works. You leave it in for
actually
45 minutes.
Yeah. You got to double the time because your microwave is fucked, and then you'll have the best. That's actually why my pizza rolls are so good. Our microwave is fucked actually, and you got to add 30 seconds to anything you microwave, and it turns out delicious.
That's
Dude, like
hilarious.
hot pockets to me, it's always like
Hot pocket.
lava, ice. Like,
I don't-
it's like,
Yeah.
I haven't had a hot
burning
pocket
my
in so
mouth.
long.
Once I get to that middle though, it's all
Hot
gonna be
pockets
worth
are
it. It'll
trash.
freeze it.
I do.
Really, hot pockets are like the breakfast toaster strudels that are like ham, cheese, and egg are better than hot pockets.
Dude, that's all garbage. I like now I live that fancy life, like with my pinky up and shit. I find like those microwave strombolis. Okay, essentially it's like a hot pocket. It's just like
Yeah.
maybe a fraction larger, and I'm like, oh, no, it's got little cuts in the top. That's how you know. that
Have
shit's
you guys
fancy.
had Jamaican meat pies?
Yes.
No.
Those are delicious.
Meat
Spicy
pies are
Jamaican
good,
meat
dude.
pies. That's where it's at.
True time.
I gotta find some of those. I don't think those exist in the Northwest. But
All right. So, what have we been up to during quarantine other than trying to figure out how good or shitty our microwaves are? I feel like quarantine, we've just figured out so much extra stuff about, like, where we live or like stupid shit we should never have
How few
learned
how few like plies of toilet paper you actually need when you go to the bathroom.
about. Oh, just enough to provide cushion, bud.
Dude, I'm like this close to just buying a bidet and being done with it. Just
My
Get one of
grandmother
those
has
Japanese toilets, dude.
that's what a bidet is.
a Japanese toilet.
No, a bidet is just the bidet part. Japanese
bidet is a
toilets
water
have like
fountain in your
7,000
toilet.
things in it.
Oh really? Oh okay.
It has fucking flat screen that pops out the side.
The Japanese one has a heated seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sit down, it's nice on your booty.
I just,
You walk
it's
up
weird,
to it,
though.
it notices if you sat down or if you're standing to pee, and it'll open the lids for you.
I've
if you
I've
guys-
seen those.
I'm a
If someone listening to this show has one of those, I'm sorry, but it's weird. Okay, like
love it.
the heated toilet seat. When I was a kid, I used to watch Ren and Stimpy. You guys watch this? But they're like, "Oh, the seats are heated," and it's like, "What? How are they heated?" And then like a lumberjack walks out. He's like,
Gross.
"Ugh," and there's like butt hair and everything on it. So every time I sit on, like my grandmother has those heated seats. Every time I sit on one, immediately I think of like somebody else's hot butt was just on that toilet seat. And it's
That's
disgusting.
Immediately, I think of a serene sauna where my sweaty butt is just in heaven.
No. When my butt is sweaty, it slips around on the. Like, whoa. Like,
Pooping in the floor and skid marks on the side of the toilet.
dude, I mean, when your butt's sweaty, you kind of slide off the seat a little bit. So you gotta be careful, you know.
It needs the next iteration. V2 needs a seatbelt. That's what you're really saying.
Click, like the
Yeah,
five
little
point.
5-point harness. Or it's like a roller coaster. You sit down, and it automatically clicks over the top of you.
No. That's the thing. It's like, is it gonna be a one flusher or a two flusher? No, two flusher. The little restraints come down.
like
Extra jungle gym handlebars.
like I'm gonna be here a minute. You might
Yeah.
wanna.
It brings out the flat screen. Like,
Yeah.
in a couple minutes
This ain't gonna be no
Nintendo
quick
Switch just pops out the side.
with all the latest bootleg games.
That's great.
Yeah. So what have you guys been doing?
We've all been playing Legends of Runeterra.
Is that what that game is called?
That's what it's called.
Brandon doesn't even know what it's called.
It's just like.
I did a draft though last night.
Oh, did you?
How'd you do?
Yeah, I had 3 wins.
I still get 0 wins.
Wow.
So
I'm too afraid.
I had 3 wins, but you don't get to keep your cards.
Right.
I thought I could keep my cards. I actually really enjoyed the deck that I built. I built a dope deck. It was very like mono red burn, which is
Okay,
what
cool.
I was telling you guys last night.
Yeah.
I was trying to build. I just didn't know the conversion into this game,
Right.
and I actually loved it. It was sick.
this
Do you remember what champion it was?
I had 3 actually. I pulled 3. I had some like vampire type guys.
Vladimir.
Well, and then there's another one that's like if you do non-combat damage,
Mhm.
it can level up, but it levels up when it's in your deck too.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was doing
Nice.
non-combat damage even if I didn't have it, and I could just like when I pulled it, it was already leveled up. So, it's like-
Mm-hmm.
nice,
so I had a
dude.
bunch of like burn and stuff like that. It was cool, and it was like do damage to your own characters if they survive XYZ happens.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a bunch of cards like that, so it was a lot of stuff like that, and it was tight.
That's what's up. I text Jason this morning. I was like, dude, I'm seriously 0-4 today, and I'm getting very upset about it. Like, I fucking no
That was
matter
the first
what.
thing you text me
Ugh,
at 5:30 a.m.
it was not
No, I'm just
5:30. My house still
I'm
asleep.
already 0-4.
I was like, fuck, dude. I don't know. Like, I won. I played some this morning, then I played some at lunch, and across 6 games, I won once. And when I finally won, I was like, I'm not playing anymore today because I'm so pissed.
So
Gotta leave on a high note.
Right, exactly.
the good thing, right? Like in beta, it was like all the people that have been following the game or whatever, and it's like it's a smaller amount. Good and bad about it going open and being on mobile and everything. You're gonna get games where it's like, does this person even know what they're doing?
No.
But then
That's
as
me.
you climb rank, it's
Oh,
like,
right. Those.
oh,
Okay.
right.
Yep.
yeah. If you were playing ranked, that's where I'm hitting like so I'm like silver 2, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, these people are actually know what they're doing, and now it's time for me to like adjust.
I prefer the ranked because I feel like the normal games, the whatever the math they use to match you up with somebody has a much bigger leeway than in ranked. Like for the most part, if you're
similar,
right?
Yeah.
Like on normal, I was like, oh cool, this guy has all of the cards already, and I've started a week ago. Let's definitely match me with him because nothing bad's gonna happen.
Well, like, even though I had the cards, I never played ranked until it came open.
Oh really?
Like once it went live, then I played ranked.
Yeah.
So you still could be playing people like that, but
yeah, but people like that aren't gonna stay in Silver 4 very long.
Yeah,
like, you're like you've been playing. It's been open for a week, and you're at Silver 2. Like,
yeah.
So that's the difference. And I'm almost Silver 3. I think I have like one more match, and I'll be Silver 3. But one more win, as it were.
But yeah, Legends of Runeterra. I've been looking forward to that game coming out. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy it because it does have ties to like Hearthstone and Magic.
Yep.
But,
it's kind of like the best of. It's kind of like they took what was great about those games and left out what sucked about those games and kind of put it all into one.
Yeah, it's. I still think that Magic the Gathering has a. I think it's more strategic. Like there's more strategy in Magic the Gathering.
It's got more. It's got more steps.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which makes like deck building and building out like how this deck is going to play out through the game, like it has more depth.
Yeah.
You see, you got Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh, you have Hearthstone, you have Runeterra, and then you have Magic. And to me, Magic. I like this because there's more strategy than Hearthstone, but there's not so much as Magic. Because for me, Magic is the barrier to entry to Magic is so high.
Yeah.
That this is a much easier way to get into it than Magic.
If you haven't like been playing since you're in middle school, you're
exactly.
Well, Brandon and I have been playing since middle school, and we both.
I was in elementary school, right?
Yeah, something like that.
You're great.
But Brandon was like, "Oh, there's no way you can get mana screwed. Are you fucking kidding me? Like this is dope." Like, I always
that was
have
like
mana.
half the ways I could win in Magic, really. You just kind of hope someone else gets mana screwed and then your deck wins.
Yeah. Like there's
you don't gotta be good. You just gotta hope that their deck
sucks.
Gets mana screwed.
And with it being on mobile and like iPad and everything,
right.
Like I think this is the first iteration of like a true digital card game that actually has what it takes to go further than like all those that have tried and like failed, like way short. I'd say the closest is Hearthstone, but it wasn't serious enough.
Well, it had a good run. It petered out pretty quick because I think people got tired of having to like constantly buy and pay for the new decks. It's
well,
like
buying the stuff digitally, right?
Hearthstone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was too random.
Yeah.
Like it says, it attacks 2 random characters. Could have been yours, could have been theirs. There's too many random things, and it wasn't serious enough. And Legends of Runeterra has stuff that Magic doesn't even have, like with Challenger, where you can like bring people to attack you. Like I love some of the stuff they've done.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Some of the stuff I really enjoy, like in Legends of Runeterra. I think there's gonna be some more checks and balances for sure.
Oh yeah.
So every 2 weeks they do.
I was about to say,
fly, right? In Magic, they brought reach.
Yeah.
For flying, and Legends of Runeterra doesn't really have that yet. No.
That is one of my biggest complaints too. Is the elusive? There's no way to stop it unless you kill it. No way to stop it.
Oh yeah.
There should be something called like Deadeye or something where it's like, even if something's elusive, you're still able to block it.
And like. Only, and the way it's set up is you can only have like 2 regions per deck, right? But only 1 region has elusive.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that region in your deck, you can't.
Which I could definitely understand one region having more elusives than others, because that's how Magic is set up with flying, right? Like white and blue have way more flying than everything else.
Right.
But everything else also has flying. Like red has dragons, black
has vampire.
Okay, to go back to your point, Jason, Challenger, right? If I put out somebody that's Challenger, I can drag their elusive to me and then kill it, because they're only elusive when they're attacking.
So
if they
there are ways around it.
right. No, but I mean, I still see what you're saying. But I
Yeah.
think that if I had to guess, that's probably
Yeah.
where their mentality is like, okay, you've got challenger. They're not elusive when they're blocking, right? They're only elusive when they're attacking.
Right.
So
It does.
But-
It does force you to kind of play more of an offensive aggro
Right.
deck if you're
Exactly.
running elusive, than because you don't want to kill your elusive
right.
characters, whatever they are,
Yeah.
cards, because you want them to attack. I can see that.
But
So yeah, I mean, there are definitely checks and balances, and every 2 weeks they're going to be doing balancing, like with cards and everything.
so, because what's nice, right? Riot Games, the people who made League of Legends, is arguably one of, if not the most successful battle arena company
I would
ever.
say they're one of the most successful video game companies.
Right. They outstripped Dota like within a couple years. They what's the Greek god one?
Smite.
Smite never took off the same way. I don't think. At least I never
No.
heard of it. So Riot Games has a shit ton of money and nothing better to do. And they have such a good track record. League of Legends is an incredible game that they have constantly innovated and they're always tweaking and patching, as we're kind of talking about. So, and they've got the team fight game too that they do, which I don't think that took off as much, but that team fight tactics or whatever they called it.
I like Team Fight, but the Riot Games brought me in because they're like, oh, we have this card game,
Yeah.
and because of that, I have League of Legends on my computer. I don't play it really,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting for it to go mobile. They're coming out with a mobile one, and I'll
Really?
play around with that.
I don't.
But yeah, it's called League of Legends Strike or something like that. But it's
Okay.
a mobile League of Legends.
Okay, it's just
Um,
it's a different.
But so they do, like, arguably, I say they're arguably the best because they've made so much money from a free-to-play platform,
Right.
and now they're bringing free-to-play to card games, which is unheard of.
Right.
Like Magic the Gathering is go buy our stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, spend $50 on a box and you won't even get the cards. Like, you won't even get all the cards
yeah.
for $50. Like, you'll get a ton of extras, and on Arena I can't even like split the box with Brandon, because that's like what we would do, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's say Brandon plays white green and I play red black. Okay, we'll just split the box. You
Right.
get all the green and I get all the red black or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we just split the box.
There's no way to do that.
Arena on digital, you can't trade, you can't do anything. And I think that's something Tank and I were talking about about Legends of Runeterra was like, yeah, it's free to play, but if I have a deck that I like, I can send you that link like super easy,
Yeah.
and then you can just put it right in yours and it pops up.
And I get more like, you two are deck builders. You two, that is like, I would say almost 60% of what you guys enjoy about these kinds of games is the deck building process. I'm kind of I'm 60% the other way. I just enjoy having a deck and then figuring out how to use it, and then the thinking on the fly aspect. So this is perfect for me because I'll just let you guys, or half the time I just go to Reddit. I find deck codes, I throw it in, I try I'd play the deck a couple of times, and I'm like, okay, and like, I like it, don't like it, whatever, and then I can just go throw it away and go build, and then go find another deck. So being able to copy the deck code and it give you exactly what it's made up of is probably one of the smartest things they did.
And you don't have to spend any money
No.
to do it.
You don't have
Like, yeah, you don't have to spend a dime to play the game,
Mm-mm.
and you could have every single card
Yep.
and spend $0.
to. Yep. They're because like most free to play games, not all, most free to play games are really like free to, they're still, yeah, you can play it, but like if you
Pay to
don't
win.
pay, you're gonna stand there, you're gonna be there grinding forever just to get one little thing.
Yeah, like my
Hey,
nail
should
pet
I
was
let
never
Naru in?
money.
Should I let Naru in?
Yeah.
You guys did.
Let's let Naru in, and then when he tries to say something about Star Wars, we already talked about it.
Hey, whoa, that light is so
Hey,
bright.
whoa, so
Whitewashed.
bright, dude. Are you trying to?
Oh,
You look like you're in a room from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
so
White
bright.
balance is off.
Yeah, the balance is way off.
Put your hand over it like this, and then
Just trying to get
Crazy
a
star,
reset.
crazy light in the background. Some kind of buckets.
Turn the
or
turn the
to
overhead
right.
light off. I got him close.
So much light in there.
Why he figures his stuff out, but yeah. I mean, I started to play. I played the beta a little bit, but in my life right now, I don't have as much time to sit and play on my computer. So I've been waiting for it to come out on mobile because I feel way less bad. Like if we're just like if me and the wife are sitting on the couch like we call it trash TV, where it's just like stuff like it's just fun, mindless entertainment. Like I'll just pull up the iPad and I'll just play a couple hands, and like I like that way better than having to come, all the way downstairs and be away from the family and stuff to play. So
Yeah, and when you're pooping.
yeah, when I played a hand yesterday on the John. It was
I
yesterday.
played this morning while I was pooping. So.
Yep, it's a good.
Sometimes it's where you get your best plays in.
Yep.
But yeah, so
What is my audio like?
So
It's alright.
it's your audio. It's whatever. Ooh, Cinco de Mayo.
Look at
Mayo.
that. Got
Ooh,
some
it's the 5th day of mayonnaise.
tacos.
I love mayonnaise.
Yeah, I was telling my daughter, I was like, yeah, Cinco de Mayo is 5th of mayonnaise. She was like, no, it isn't. I was like, mayo. That is mayonnaise. She was like, no. She gets so mad. She's like, no, it isn't. I was like, mayo. We have it in the fridge. Go get it. She's like, no, it's not.
That's
Cinco,
funny.
5th of mayonnaise. We need a 5th of a mayonnaise jar, and you gotta eat it on Cinco de Mayo.
Mayonnaise is so gross,
It's worth this.
dude. I don't. So and when I worked at Chick-fil-A, I don't think they have anymore. Their chicken salad sandwich. It was. I'm pretty sure they don't have it anymore. It literally was the previous day's chicken that didn't sell. They would strip all the breading back off, like chop it up, and then they would literally just take this giant tub of mayonnaise and just plop it into this like mixer, and then put like
The
celery.
record, that is not a sound
I've
I ever
never
want to
seen a chicken
associate
salad
with
sandwich.
mayo again.
Dude, it was so. I wouldn't even make them. I was like, nope, I'm not touching those. Those are disgusting.
Ever had their carrot raisin salad?
I've
Also
made them.
delicious, but I don't know if it's mayonnaise or what it is in there, but it tastes good as shit. They shredded carrots and raisins and mixture.
So I want to touch on quarantine life, right? Like I made a mention. I don't even know last time we did the show if I said it. I probably did because I've been saying it since like day 5. I feel like I'm in fucking Groundhog Day,
Oh, yeah.
the movie, like the Bill Murray movie. And so yesterday I wake up and Tank was gracious enough months ago to give us some of his kids' hand-me-downs.
Oh yeah.
So Lucas has some really cool Star Wars shit, right? Because we can't go out and buy new shit right now because we
Says who?
can't even go to the store. So I was like, all right, because our kid's a chunk and he can't stop growing. So Kelsey like gets him up and puts him in like this really cute like Darth Vader shirt, and I put on my Darth Vader shoes yesterday to take out the trash.
Yeah, we
Didn't even know. I just put them on. And Kelsey puts the shirt on him, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, yeah. I put his Star Wars stuff on. He was wearing like his little Star Wars shoes and stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool.
just
Like my kids,
oblivious.
yeah, the kids and my wife, everybody is doing Star Wars shit. Not me. I'm like, that's cool. And then like we were walking the dog last night, and my neighbor, who is not a nerd, not a geek, nothing, he was like, oh, may the 4th be with you. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? And he was like, no, like, your son's wearing Star Wars stuff, May 4th. And I was like, yeah. Oh shit, it's like 7 o'clock. I'm just now putting that together.
No, I haven't.
That's what quarantine has done to me.
I have an even better Jason Groundhog Day story. So when my son got sick the other week, right? We took him to the hospital on a Tuesday, which is when we record the show. So because it was a Tuesday, I just put in our Discord chat, hey, son's going to the hospital, not gonna be able to record. We'll have to catch up later. Blah blah blah. So. Naru's like cool prayers, thoughts. Brandon I'm pretty sure Brandon even mentioned something. Nothing from Jason, right?
It's rare. I never type in the Discord.
Right, he's never in the Discord, but it's Tuesday. The only day anybody checks the Discord is usually on Tuesdays. So even Brandon, but nothing from Jason, right? Just total silence. So on Wednesday, he calls me. I'm at the hospital with my, because I ended up staying Tuesday night with my son. He calls me on Wednesday. He's like, dude, why didn't you just like text me and let me know you're at the hospital? I was like, I put it in the Discord because yesterday, because we were supposed to record. He goes, today's Tuesday. He's like, I got up today and checked the Discord because it's Tuesday. Cause it's what? Jason, today's Wednesday. Crickets for a second. He's like, no, today's Tuesday. I'm like, Jason, look at your phone. Crickets for a second. He goes, oh shit, today is Wednesday. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, you would have completely missed the fact that we were supposed to record that week. Just oblivious to the fact that he just lost a whole day somewhere. He just.
Oh my god.
It was. I'm like.
I've lost so many.
Explain yourself. Like that is.
Oh, dude, it was so funny.
Okay, so like, if you guys are working from home, right?
Mm-hmm.
You work Monday through Friday. You work from home.
Right.
Right.
Saturday and Sunday, you still do whatever you want. I work every single day. Work from home. Every single day. So every day is the same to me.
Yeah.
Like all 7 days are the same. The kids do their schoolwork every day. Kelsey doesn't really work. She has like 2 days a week where she kind of like calls in and has to do some stuff. But it's like every day is the same to me. So I'm just like, whatever.
Dude, when you called me on that Wednesday, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it was so funny.
I was pissed, dude.
Yeah.
Why didn't you text me, man? Like on a fucking Monday? You didn't even like put it in a Discord? You didn't even take all the extra steps, man. Like I could have taken care of
Extra
that for
steps. Wow. I'm glad he's okay though.
Yeah, everybody's good.
That was a little concerning at first. I'm like, wait a second, his oxygen is what?
Yeah, it didn't. So it ended up being walking pneumonia, which is essentially it's a bacteria-based pneumonia, but it acts and kind of looks like a virus, and so you have to have a specific antibiotic to kill it. So that's why it took like a few extra days to like get everything taken care of. But
Cool.
so the wife's over her because she had pneumonia first. She got over it. The kids over the walking pneumonia. Everybody's good. We spent the weekend building a play set. They're all happy. So
Can you spell pneumonia now?
PNEU. And then I hit and then the middle button on this keyboard because it finished spelling it for me. EUMONIA, I think, but yeah.
I need a new camcorder.
I used to give back when I was teaching, I would give like random extra credits. That was one, and the other one was the proper pronunciation of sphig. You know, the thing they listen to your heartbeat with or whatever.
Oh yeah, the ear thingy.
Yeah, you know. Not the stethoscope. The sphygmomanometer.
The what?
Sphygmomanometer.
Sphygmomanometer.
But that was his extra credit to make sure they could say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just sit there and I'd be like, pronounce it correctly, and they'd come up and they'd have to whisper it. Like, oh, sorry, you get one shot.
That's funny.
When they would turn their
looks
test
like he's in a Willy Wonka movie. You're speaking like a Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah, well.
I mean, they were supposed to learn it in the class, though.
Oh, doctors thinking they know things. Like,
Yeah.
Well, this is a super off topic. One of the people who was in that class, I went to the doctor like a year later or 2 years later or something, and she was the nurse like at the doctor's office.
Oh shit!
Nice.
I was like taking like my weight and stuff, like the upfront stuff, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was really funny. She was like, I can pronounce this now, and I was like,
This is gonna be a dumb question.
That's pretty
Are
cool.
we live already?
Yeah, we've been live
"Been live, bro."
for almost an hour.
We started like 40 minutes ago.
The entire time I've been feeling with my stuff.
Yep.
This whole time we were like, yeah, because Jason doesn't check the Discord. Really, it was a.
Oh my god, we were outing.
Yeah, we said we were starting.
I had no clue.
well, all of that was to say that in this,
Pandemic.
shelter in place, like I
this
say
time.
quarantine, but like I went to go pick up food today, and it's like tons of people breathing on each other and like drinking after each other at the bar and like breathing in each other's mouths. No, I'm just kidding on that second part.
I love it when
so,
people just breathe in my mouth.
Yeah, they weren't drinking after each other, but they were breathing in each other's mouths. So this whole shelter in place has me like super off, and Brandon was like, "Ooh, what about this Star Wars news?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, I've been reading like actual books, not comic books. And my daughter, like, I'm trying to keep up with my daughter. She's read like 7.
Oh,
She's what, the 3rd Harry Potter, 4 Percy Jackson books, 3 Neil Patrick Harris books. Like, she's a beast right now.
NPH?
Yeah.
The true savior of our people?
Yes. Why do you think I bought them for her? Come on,
dude,
I'm about to go frost my tips because of this.
hands down. Like,
I died Alex was here the other day. I'll do mine today.
That's funny.
You could have a children's book written by any actor from the 90s that is still relevant today.
Relevant.
Neil Patrick Harris.
So
Relevant.
I just started watching the old crime show Numbers, and even in the first season, like Neil Patrick Harris was in an episode. Who is the Robin from what's his face Batman movies?
Gosh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Chris.
Someone. Yeah.
That guy. He was in an episode. The president from the X-Men movies that gets turned into goop. He was in one of the episodes, and in that same episode was also the bad guy from the Ant-Man movie.
Oh, nice.
I like all these because the first season came out in 2005, so it's like all these like actors that you see in movies now.
Wasn't that around the time that Neil Patrick Harris was beginning his resurgence?
I have no idea because I've never
Probably.
I've never been a huge. I mean, like, I've just never watched any of this stuff.
Neil Patrick Harris is awesome in.
Once
Harold
he finished
and Kumar.
Doogie, was it Doogie Booger? What was his name? The TV show.
Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser, right? Once he was done with that, it was like, okay, forget about this guy. Kid actor, never makes it again. And then suddenly he starts showing up here. They're putting in fantastic performances and showing up on TV shows and then theater. And it's like, whoa, this kid.
He's actually really good.
Yeah, sings, dance, comedy.
Isn't he like an amateur magician?
Yeah, and that's what the
everything.
kids'
And
books
Like
are about.
he does everything. Like he does. Neil Patrick Harris does everything.
Books are about magic, but not like Harry Potter magic, like street magic. And it's a group of kids that do street magic that are solving mysteries.
Oh, that's cool.
Like using their abilities.
Kind of like the Magic Treehouse.
Can we segue from that into Jason's book for a second? Because that whole book sent me into this whole deep dive into the meaning of the word magic and what the spelling was and why some spellings were that spelling. And I was like, whoa, okay. Pull back.
Mine.
This is a rabbit hole of epic proportions in life.
Yeah.
This is a life-size rabbit hole right here. I was going in. I'm like, okay, stop, back out.
I saw Jack Carr on Joe Rogan's podcast, and it really made me want to pull my book back out and get back to it. I just haven't got to it.
Tank.
That's it. Yeah, we were talking about it. I vaguely remembered us talking about it. Yeah.
All 3.
It's upside down.
Yeah, upside down.
There you go. Because the fourth, he's working on the 4th one right now.
Yeah, he's got the 4th one. All 3 hardback. So I'm such a fan.
All you need now is his autograph.
I want his autograph, but he doesn't really come this way. But so I got the Terminal List in paperback, and I was like, okay. I completed it in like 1 week. And for me, like before the Terminal List, I wasn't really reading a lot of fictional books. I would like start them, and then it's like, nah, okay. So then that kicked up my reading, and then True Believer, I bought it on Kindle the day it came out. Didn't read it because reading on Kindle is like hard.
The best thing ever.
So then it's like I bought the paperback. Then I killed the paperback, bought the 3rd version, and I was like, well, now I want hardcovers of all of it. Because, like, so then I found the hardcovers, and I was like, now I have these paperbacks. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them.
I'll take them. I'll read them because I want to. After hearing him talk about like his story and like how he like wrote these books and stuff, it sounds really cool. Like it on face value, it's not a book I would normally like grab and start reading. But hearing him talk about it makes it sound really cool.
So like I like it because in the first book, he caught me with something where it's like no one would ever know. Like, because I like to read Robert Ludlum, Tom Clancy,
right?
Like all of these, thrillers, and they're like, oh, the guy kicked in the door and he was so badass and he did all this, but Jack Carr has actually done this stuff.
Yeah,
and
he was a SEAL.
Yeah, he can talk about it, and I can
Very
understand it.
perspective.
When he said, going in through the window, no one has ever made a window entry look cool. he fell on the ground, and rolled around. And I just remember myself going through a window, and like I'm the first one in the building, and I just look like a fucking fool as I'm like.
You either look like a newborn giraffe or you're on your ass. Like there's no in between.
Even though I've never been in the military, that has such a ring of authenticity to it. Just hearing that, like, no one has ever made going through a window look cool.
Yeah, like if you think about it.
Except for the guy from what was that? That parkour dude jumps up and goes through a.
Well, but when you think about it, see, you have to take into consideration. We're doing it with combat boots, a 70-pound load.
Oh no, you guys are excused. I was just saying that this dude was bare. He's basically only wearing pants. That's all he was wearing. So.
But when you watch the movies and they do it and they look so cool and they do like that combat roll and they're like, it's clear.
Yeah. Well, what makes me laugh is every time somebody kicks a door in facing it, I'm like, you would break your knee. Like, there's no way that door's coming open with you kicking it that way, unless it's like a little cardboard door. But if it's like a front, like if it's like a proper door, aren't you supposed to donkey kick it?
I have front kicked a door, but I was running.
Running,
and I didn't have a choice, and it did open.
Dude, my brother has a story. And I'll tell you the short version is basically they had to go into a house. My brother's a cop, and so he had his buddy kick the door open while he was already running towards it. So he kicked the door open, immediately runs, sees like dude, and just goes to the far back guy and just like bull tackles him as hard as he can into the ground while his buddies came in and got everybody else. He's like, dude, that was the most adrenaline I've ever felt in my entire life. It's like that's awesome.
Yeah, I have front kicked a door at full speed.
Where?
I feel like you would just break your knee in half trying to do that.
No, it depends on where you kick it, but I kicked it like near the handle and the door flexed.
I still want to know where, because I'm thinking like, is this a third world door with poor quality, or is this an actual
it's
old fashioned?
It's a real door.
Dude, that's
some
power.
You can do it, but yes, they do teach you to like stand off and donkey kick or take a shotgun to the handle.
Well, there's that too.
But going in through the window, like when he said that, I was like, every book you write, I'm gonna buy it. Like, doesn't matter from here on out if you write about fucking unicorns and leprechauns, right? Like, because this just is true to form. So, anyway, so Brandon, news on Star Wars.
Oh, I don't know any people's names.
Well, I don't know the news, so
the news is I also didn't know yesterday was May the 4th. I was there with you, and then Alex reminded me because
you guys got a hand in your passes, man.
So Brandon and I have Disney May 4th. Like, we are huge Star Wars people.
We also have straight up like full week jobs. Like, we're working weekends. I'm shipping stuff out. I was doing mail for like an hour and a half.
I thought you were about to say I was doing meth. I was like,
gotta stay awake, bruh.
Yeah.
Got them long hours.
But regardless, I didn't know until Alex was like, "Oh, the new Star Wars movie is on Disney Plus," and I was like, "The fuck? We just looked. We literally this past weekend watched the new trilogy, the 2 movies that were online,
right?"
And we were like, "Why isn't the new one on there yet? They should put it on there." And then last night, Alex was like, "Oh, we should watch it," and I was like, "We just looked and it's not on there."
Yeah. They were waiting for May the 4th.
It's May the 4th. It was just put on there. And I was like, all right, you got me. And so I Googled, I don't know why. For some reason, that made me Google, like, Star Wars news for May the 4th, because they come out with stuff May the 4th and D23 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I saw that they hired a new team of writers for the new movies.
Yep.
For the actual movies, and they hired the new director. Of the first movie, at least. And he is the director of the last episode of
The Mandalorian. And he did.
One of the co-writers is one of the writers for 1917.
So Taika Waititi is the director.
Seen that yet? I haven't seen it yet.
Taika Waititi, obviously, the thing I really got, my introduction to Taika Waititi was Thor. The third Thor movie. I can't think of
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
So he
did
did.
that. I love Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was him, and he also plays the Rock guy. That's Taika Waititi. He
so-
acts as the Rock guy.
That actually
Korg,
makes a ton of sense to me for the criticism that I heard about this topic. Is a lot of people were concerned that this would be too funny.
Right, and that's his style.
See, I feel like
he did Ragnarok. He did Jojo Rabbit.
I feel like
I don't know what that is. I don't
awesome.
know rabbit. I don't know what the rabbit one is.
It's
the new
a
parody
comedy
of
about
Hitler.
Nazi, Nazi Germany.
Oh, so it's kind of like Mouse.
But like, I feel he would do an awesome one-off, like
Yeah.
a Star Wars
He
story.
did the solo movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if he did something like that, I feel like he would do an awesome one because, like, Rogue One was like way too serious. I loved it. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. But like Star Wars regular, it's like way more serious than other Star Wars movies. So like to have one that's actually like comedic and great, I'd be
I
okay
do want
with
to
that.
throw this devil's advocate point of view out, right? I'm gonna finish chewing my taco.
While he's chewing, I have literally took 2 seconds, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
I saw it was somebody took a picture of Mike Tyson and gave him a lightsaber, but they still wrote "May the 4th be with you," but because that's Mike, if you read it in Mike Tyson's voice in your head, it's like he was trying to say Force.
Motherfucker's ripped now, though. Can we at least say that?
Oh yeah, no, dude's still
He
legit.
looks like
But
he's
it was just
27, about to just rock your jaw.
because he's still
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Anyways,
but yeah, to play a devil's advocate, The Mandalorian was a huge hit with the amount of comedy it did have in it. Like those stormtroopers just fucking punching the baby in the head. That's like my favorite part, and it was purely a comedy part though, right? It was, and I love that scene. I thought it was hilarious.
I love the shootout with the stormtroopers. That was fun.
Also good. Yeah, but like, I do enjoy the comedy scenes that were intertwined in The Mandalorian. I thought it was done really well. It wasn't overbearing. Like, you still cared about the story, still cared about the characters, which is what Star Wars is. Star Wars isn't necessarily caring about the story, or else it wouldn't do well, because the story of every fucking movie is the exact same.
right.
You have to care about the characters. Another scene I want to point out in the actual movies of the new trilogy, when Kylo Ren is just fucking having a temper tantrum,
Yeah.
and the stormtroopers just stop.
Yeah, and they just turn around.
That is another scene that really sticks out to me, of me being like, I remember that the first time I watched it, and every time after, me being like, that's a funny ass scene.
Dude, it's so funny.
It takes a super serious thing and then kind of
Just
inlays
drops
some comedy.
Yeah.
I think he could actually do this really well, if, judging by The Mandalorian, and I know he didn't do the whole series.
Right.
Obviously, don't come at me in the comments. But the Mandalorian did a good job at having comedy through the whole season, right?
Yeah.
And it still being serious enough for you to care about it. And I know it's a series and kind of a one-off, and it's not really the main movies, but a lot of the comedy in the main movies I really liked. Like Yoda in the original trilogy was literally a comedy puppet. He was a fucking puppet. Like, placed in there for comedy. He was a cracked out puppet. And he grew into this super serious character in the second trilogy, which kind of put more of a serious tone on it when they tried to make Anakin emo and all this stuff. They took some of the comedy out.
Yeah.
They had things like Jar Jar Binks, which was shit comedy, and that's why everybody hates it.
Yeah.
I think this guy could actually do comedy properly, and how it should be in Star Wars, like the original trilogy, or like The Mandalorian, or like the most recent trilogy had good comedy in it, and actually do something good to make us care about the characters.
Yep.
You know? I also think he could make something like Jason was saying that is 100% a spin-off, or like a one-off story of like Yoda's life before everything, and would do a great job at making something that's purely comedy, because it doesn't need to be tied into anything else. But I think he understands his job here. Like, I think he would do a good job at understanding what he needs to do and the audience he's trying to reach and what he's trying to do at the end of the day.
I do think he's a professional. But
Yeah.
I will say this: Jojo Rabbit and Thor Ragnarok, right? We'll take both of those examples. Nothing was serious about the, like, I don't want to say about the movie, because there were serious parts in the movie,
Especially
but
Thor.
pretty much it was like a fun ride movie. You know what I mean? Like Thor had like the 80s, like,
Right.
you know, basically an 80s van feel, you know, for lack of a better term, like 80s hair metal, you know. And Jojo Rabbit is like making fun of Nazi Germany, like trying to make fun of everything. So it's like he doesn't take those very seriously. So I personally haven't seen anything where he's done something where he's like, okay, I really need to focus on this and I need it to be serious. I've seen him do stuff that's funny with serious parts, not serious with funny parts.
On the other hand, though, he's the director and co-writer. The other co-writers are very serious, right?
Yeah.
The other like main co-writer is 1917 that probably had no comedy in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just like cry or be like, man, fucking sucked before the 20s. Right?
So
Man,
yeah, I mean,
3 years changed a lot.
It sounds like it could be a really good yin yang situation. Like,
yeah, like I hope they play off each other when they're writing this stuff out.
Yeah.
Which means I don't necessarily think they're going to equal each other out and negate what either of them are good at. I hope there's very, very deep, very serious moments, and then there's very funny, lighthearted moments to play off of them. So when you leave, you're not trying to cry yourself to sleep, but you're also not just only remembering Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
That should be a spinoff right there. Remembering Jar Jar Binks. That's
I think he could do that one. And how Jar Jar Binks was actually
he
like
wouldn't
a
need a
Sith
co-writer.
Lord.
He could do it all himself.
I don't want anything else with Jar Jar Binks.
I love Jar Jar Binks. Everybody has heard my theories on Jar Jar Binks.
He's actually a Sith Lord.
I want more Jar Jar.
Naru, do you got something on May the 4th?
I love that you turned all your lights off, Naru. By the way.
I got tired of it, man. Like, I'll fix it later. I actually was gonna buy some more lights and put them in here. I haven't. Yeah. Anyway, listen. I want to first, before I pull, I want to pull back from just this one bit of news to the overall Star Wars plan. But before I do that, I'm thinking, when I heard the news, my first thought was Taika Waititi, Thor Ragnarok. What? Now, I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit. I have seen something else he did, though. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. It's a mockumentary.
Oh, what happened?
All I'll say to you guys is look up a trailer of it. And that alone will give you the heebie-jeebies and say, this guy's getting Star Wars? For one simple reason. What Jason said. Nothing he does is based in seriousness, so to speak. Like, Star Wars has always been one of those adventure type movies that has comedy in it, but it's not run by the comedy. So I'm curious to see, as you said, how he plays off the other guys, the script writers and so on. I think it's going to be great. I just don't think it's going to be for everybody, but let's see. Which leads me to my point I was going to make about the bold decision Star Wars and their whole think tank seems to be taking, guys. Like, a comedy director, a guy who's known for comedy and nothing else, being asked to do this seems to imply like they've been thinking about doing something new in Star Wars for a while. People have been asking for that, right? And this is a super bold move. Did you guys take a look at the video I put in the Discord?
With Rooster Teeth? No.
Yeah. Really, guys? That just hurts my feelings.
Sorry.
But it's a 90s sitcom based around a stormtrooper whose wife wants him to get a new job. So it's hilarious in its concept, but obviously was never going to be greenlit like Star Wars before. But it makes you wonder, in a world that large, there's got to be comedy somewhere, right? There's got to be some funny stuff happening. But
Well, this was going to lead me to a question. Do we know if he's doing the new main line, or is he doing a series?
He's doing the first Star Wars movie that comes out.
But is it the first of the new main line? Because you know how they have like their main line and then like Mandalorian and all that. Mandalorian.
Oh, you mean like they had like Solo?
Like the a Star Wars story movies.
Yeah,
What if
like
it's
Rogue
another-
One.
Rogue One and Solo.
Nothing was.
If they give him like a Rogue One to just play with and kind of tie it into the overall story, I'm there.
Yeah.
But having
Thinking
him do
about
the
the
main
prequel.
thread, Yeah, I got.
But also, we don't know if he's doing all of them.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's slated for one movie.
Yeah.
Also,
Nobody gets all of them.
well, this is
J.J. Abrams could have.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams. Hey, let's put J.J. Abrams back at the helm, huh? But seriously,
Sith Lord.
this is okay. So I have a little bit more hesitance now, thinking about it. Had he jumped in episode 8, okay, whatever. Like, we can do. This is a brand new. If he's doing the mainline first one,
You can do whatever you want.
first. Well, he can do whatever he wants, but also this is shaping where they go from here. It's not Luke Skywalker's story. It's not anything tied to what started it, the original trilogy or anything. It's where do they go after Luke?
I don't necessarily think it's shaping it, just because how shitty Star Wars fans are. Like, Star Wars fans are fucking the worst, right?
Yeah.
Like, the new trilogy started. The first one came out. 70% were probably happy with it. The others were like, oh, there's no fucking way it could be a woman. And the others are like, oh, yeah, is Finn does he have the Force or not? What is this? He's a stormtrooper. He can't be smart. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next one comes out, and then way more people are fucking upset about it because it didn't follow what the first one did. And then so the third one came out to fix what the second one did, and then people are pissed that it didn't keep going with the storyline of the second one that everybody was mad about. So it really, at the end of the day, this is why I'm completely okay with it. At the end of the day, no one's gonna fucking be happy, right?
No.
It's gonna come out, it's gonna be too comedic. It's going to be too much Star Wars based, too little Star Wars based. There's not going to be enough lightsabers. There's going to be too many lightsabers. There's going to be too many fucking rifles. There's not going to be enough.
Too many saber jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be. People aren't going to be happy, and that's Star Wars, and that's okay with me because like I'm getting content and I'm happy with that content, and I want to see how it grows and how it evolves and how it changes, and the lore is what most like heavy Star Wars fans are based in. It's like the movie gives you this sprinkle of something in the lore and what that builds outside of that, the comic books, the regular books, all that stuff. The expanded universe is kind of what keeps people there. The movie is just fan service for people who have a movie pass to AMC and don't know what the fuck to see because the next one's not out.
So let's put a pin in that for a second. So what if
I was basing that
we
towards
go back? What if we go back 2 years? All right, well, let's go back 2 years, maybe 3 years, and say, okay, John
no
Favreau
pandemic.
Just, yeah. prior pandemic. John Favreau just got greenlit to do a series, a Western series for Star Wars. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I was
John
down
Favreau,
with that.
he's
like,
great.
I was 100% down with that. I think everybody.
Well, so was I, because I know he's a good director, and I'm not saying Waititi isn't a good director. I think he's great, but he just has his niche.
Mhm.
Now, what Brandon's saying, if they balance off each other, and that's cool. But again, I don't want to cast stones saying, "Oh, this movie's gonna fucking suck," because I haven't seen him try to play something serious.
Yeah.
So what if he can do something serious? Because like
play or direct.
Well, direct or write, because what if, like, so let's say actors, right? If you look at, oh gosh,
Ozark. Have you seen Ozark?
Yeah.
No.
The main
Yes.
character of Ozark is a fucking comedian.
Yeah.
Really?
He wrote Community or whatever.
Oh wow.
It's Jason Bateman. No, not Bateman.
Yeah, not
it's
Jason something. It is Bateman.
Is it Jason Bateman?
Alex said Bateman, so I think I trust her.
Yeah, he's a funny comedian.
Oh, it is
but
Jason Bateman.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And when we started watching that, I was like, man, I can't see him as anything but a comedian.
You guys
After
know
the second episode, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to do math and fucking smuggle money for people.
You guys know why TT was in Green Lantern, right?
Was he really? Oh.
Yes. Yes.
he was
in Green
he was
Lantern.
the best friend, the guy who
Yeah.
he's like
Oh my
You know,
god, that
okay,
was
let's not-
oh dude.
Let's not
Yeah.
cast stones on him for that, okay?
Yeah, that one
No,
wasn't
I'm
his
just
fault.
saying
so-
that was like the most serious I've ever seen him be on
Wait.
screen.
Let's go into another universe, into the stars, just off this Green Lantern thing. Have you guys? Well, Ryan Reynolds. Have you guys seen the Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman trolls? Like how they've been trolling each other over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Don't you mean 2 or 3 years?
I'm just-
But
they-
they've been-
yeah.
they've been
They've been
going
doing
at
it
it.
for a while, but now that this pandemic has happened, they're on social media like every day trolling each other.
That's actually
awesome.
a really good segue into just thinking about people doing shit they're not known for. So Ryan Reynolds, a comedian,
Yes.
makes you feel in certain movies, right? Fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever the fuck his name is.
Chris
Chris Pratt.
He was an overweight, funny dude who wore 990 V4s the whole fucking series, which is a shoe for shoe people out there.
For non-shoe.
Yeah, for non-shoe people out there. For all of Parks and Rec, and then he becomes overnight. He becomes a heartthrob.
And he bought the rights to do the Jack Carr book too. He's gonna play Jack Carr.
Yeah, he's gonna play
in the
those
TV
books.
series.
Yeah, and then what's his name from 22 Jump Street?
Channing
Pretty
Tatum
Boy?
or
Channing Tate Young.
Yeah, he didn't do funny shit at all. And
No.
then he was in a funny movie.
He's super funny though.
Yeah.
No, okay. Here's the best, and this is what I was trying to think of earlier. Thank you, Brandon.
You're
Mark
welcome.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
dude, that dude can play anything.
Mark Wahlberg held his dick in his hand while he rapped to America for like 5 years as Marky Mark. And then he became a funny guy.
Not even that. He was doing action movies.
What's that? Four
and everyone-
Brothers? Four Brothers?
Yeah,
That shit
Four
was sad
Brothers.
as fuck with Andre 3000.
Yeah. But so he does all these action movies, and people are like, "Oh, he only does action movies." Then you get the other guys, Ted 2, and Mark Wahlberg is funny as fuck.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it's like,
That guy's hilarious.
Like Mark
Two
Wahlberg,
Guns.
Mark Wahlberg
Yeah,
like
Two
went to
Guns.
jail for like murder or something, didn't he?
What?
Like armed robbery.
no, he
or
was
something?
convicted. He was not, or he wasn't
Yeah.
convicted. That's what it was.
He went to court for like murder.
Yeah, he was not
Holy
convicted.
shit. Oh my god.
Okay,
Real
so that's a
bug.
segue on a segue on a segue. Like, wow.
Yeah, I'm out here riding public transportation all over the world, but I'm just saying, like, we can't say because someone did a ton of comedy shit
Yeah.
that he can't. Now that he's paired with some of the most serious writers currently in the industry that are winning like Academy Awards for writing serious shit,
Yeah.
he's not going to be able to make something serious enough to be in Star Wars where they have puppets talking to people.
Yeah.
So
I'm down for it.
I want to touch on this because we're doing a bunch of stuff on segues on people we didn't know could do shit, and I also want to go on a Jim from The Office. Who knew that he could be a badass
Krasinski.
action hero?
He wrote those movies.
Yeah, I know.
The
He wrote and directed 13 Hours.
yeah.
No, what's the one where they got to be quiet and the
Oh,
Oh yeah, A Quiet Place.
yeah,
you know, him and Emily
that's
Blunt.
a great.
Those
movie.
are fucking great.
can't
I
wait
won't
to-
watch. I'm not watching those
Yeah, those
movies.
are fucking great.
Those
Yeah.
trailers
See me
freaked
shaking my
me
head?
out.
I'm
Fuck
like, yeah,
no.
Dude, they're so
Dude, it's
good.
so good.
And yeah, he's
So good.
also someone who before those
Yeah,
comedy.
he's a
Jim.
comedy guy. Yeah.
Jim
He's
from
just
The
Jim.
Office.
Yeah, he's not even a comedy guy. He's just fucking Jim.
He's not a comedian. He's not. And so this brings me to another thing, which brings us back to the Nerds from Work, out of Star Wars into a Marvel loop. Okay, so he's been doing this thing called the Good News Network, right? Like
Okay.
reporting like good things that are happening from his house.
Yeah.
And
Steve
you know,
Carell.
just, yeah, he did like the Office 15-year anniversary or whatever. But so I think it was last week, he did one where somebody said, "Hey, have you talked to Disney?" Because him and Emily Blunt both had interviews with Disney, like about an upcoming Marvel movie.
Captain
And
Marvel and Black Widow, they were both.
he
up for
said
it.
something that was saying like, well, I can't really talk about that, but check out this new comic book. And it was a 4-panel comic strip of him like as a stick figure, not doing anything. But people are taking that, and it has 4 panels. He met with Marvel. he said, "Oh, this is a fantastic piece of art." They're like taking these things, and him and Emily Blunt, which the fans are like going crazy,
dude, for Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman as John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I'm so down, and we have our buddy Mavericks in the chat losing his mind too. I'm super down for that.
That would be.
I want because
on screen they're fucking amazing together.
They're so good.
Yeah,
they're so good. They're like, I would love to hang out with them.
This is gonna sound weird, but this is no slight on John Krasinski, but isn't Emily Blunt great with everybody?
Dude,
Emily Blunt is amazing.
I really, the first thing I like really remember watching her in was Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. I was like, dude, she was so good in that. I mean, obviously I know she's done a crap ton of the stuff. But, like, that's the one that always sticks out to me.
Ask me which I remember her from first.
Go
ahead, ask.
I just did.
Dude, it's gonna be something creepy.
The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, okay.
That.
That's kind of a chick flick.
It was, which is why going back and seeing it after seeing her and others, I'm like, whoa, that was her.
Yeah.
She was one of the best parts of that movie.
One of the greatest parts from Emily Blunt that I've seen, and this is a new movie, but it really just showed me like her range. Mary Poppins.
See, I didn't see the new one.
Dude, she did Mary Poppins. It made me believe that she's Mary Poppins.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's actually really
She can do. It sounds like she can.
Manuel Miranda.
What?
Did you see the episode of his show, of John Krasinski's show, where they had Hamilton and the whole cast? Really cool.
In the new Mary Poppins, he's the
chimney sweep.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you did see that though, Jason, right? The one with Lin-Manuel and the whole crew from Hamilton.
Which one?
An episode of John Krasinski's show.
The Good News.
Good News.
Yeah.
No.
The second one. The second episode.
No. I only saw the Fantastic Four and the Steve Carell one.
The one in between, I think. It was pretty
Alex showed me it where they all get on a Zoom call and sing to that
girl. Yeah.
Tickets to the.
John Krasinski is like.
He was like, "Oh, I got a man crush. Call in or whatever," and then it's the whole cast of Hamilton.
That's pretty dope.
So, yeah, I'm just so excited about like bringing it back to Marvel. You know, like
bringing it back to Disney.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been teasing a lot of stuff, but like the one thing that I'm super excited about is the Fantastic Four and like them bringing it in, and I heard from the rumor mill. Let me research this.
And
Huge Jacked Man will be coming back in a role as Wolverine.
No way.
In the MCU.
Ooh.
So our buddy Maverick just sent me this fanfic.
Oh yeah, the fan art.
Yeah, fan art of Krasinski.
Is that a Herschel? Is that a Herschel backpack?
Who knows?
Them shits are dope. But look at that Just for Men like gray fade on the side. I love it,
dude. I'm super down.
I'm about to dye my hair like that.
My hair is already graying, so I'm one step ahead of you.
I can do it because I need a haircut, so I might as well. I'm gonna get my hair cut.
In fact, I have a piece. I have a piece right here that's like sticking up. That's gray.
Look like Rogue, man.
Dude, I started getting gray hair when I was like 20. It doesn't bother me.
I wish I would. I was actually just talking about this. I would love to be a silver fox.
Dude, I'm so excited. So my dad is bald. So I'm like, I don't care what color it is, as long as it grows. I don't give a shit. So, like, I'm super down to be a silver fox. I'm good to go.
My dad's also bald.
Yes, yeah, your dad's super bald. Because my dad still has the
straight razor in them.
Hugh Jackman says he would take his role if they did a Wolverine versus the Hulk. So.
I don't. Well, they can't because they still don't. They don't. Universal still has the rights to the Hulk, as far as I know.
You can have a Wolverine versus the Hulk scene.
Well, that's true. They can use Hulk in other movies, so
kind of like Thor Ragnarok. It could be a Wolverine movie.
Well, that's what they did with Thor. That's how they got away with it in Thor Ragnarok because it's not a Hulk movie.
And now I typed in Wolverine and it says, "Oh, Chris Pratt, Wolverine," and I'm like, "You can't use Chris Pratt. Sorry, internet. You can't use Chris Pratt. He's Star-Lord.
Tom Cruise is short
They
enough.
will not do that." But they are trying to reboot Wolverine, and Hugh Jackman has no problem with that.
Yeah, well, he said he was done with it. So,
But he
I
also
just
loves Deadpool.
He does.
wait. There was one kid where I saw it on CBR where they were saying like, if they reboot Wolverine, this kid is perfect, and it's some Australian kid. And at first I was like, no one can do it. But
I mean, you
this
saw
kid,
this guy, yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, he ain't bad.
He looks exactly like Hugh Jackman.
Kind of. He looks like a young Hugh Jackman, really.
He's a kid, so I'm imagining.
Ooh,
like,
you know who would be a good one?
Sideburns.
I mean, they can't do it, but Tom Hardy would be dope.
Ooh, he would make a good Wolverine.
Why
He would
couldn't
be
they?
dope.
'Cause
What's up?
He's Venom,
Yeah, they can't do it because he's Venom, but
which
Fucking, he's Venom for Sony. Isn't
yeah,
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 but it's tied to the MCU.
loosely. But
he?
yeah.
I mean,
No.
wasn't fucking Ballsack Chin Man like 3 different people?
2.
What?
But yeah,
Who?
Thanos.
Thanos.
Oh, Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Cable.
There's a ton of people. Wasn't fucking Johnny Storm multiple people? Oh yeah, he was Captain America.
Yeah, but he was
Hey.
also
Oh, Scott
Johnny Storm
Scott
back in the
Eastwood
day,
as
like,
Wolverine.
That was
Yeah.
Taron Egerton.
Oh, Taron Egerton. Okay, he was in the. He's
my pick.
yeah. He's in the gold. Fuck.
I need to hear him do an accent.
What's the spy movie? The spy movies that he does. Kingsman. He's in Kingsman. He's the main guy.
And
in
he was
Kingsman.
Robin Hood.
Yeah. Despite that movie not being
He
great,
can't grow facial hair.
it's true. He has
I
a
like
pretty face.
I like Robin Hood.
He's clean as
I
fuck.
thought it was.
But when he drove a STI though in the first Kingsman. That shit was fire. Like that
Yeah.
scene was sick.
I did like my only problem with Robin Hood was Jamie Foxx, and it's just his accent was total shit.
Yeah.
I ain't watching.
So
That was good.
I could see him, or of course our boy Joe Manganiello.
Manganiello?
Manganiello.
Dude.
That motherfucker was in the first Spider-Man. He
He
can't be
can't-
in it. We just said we
he's
can't.
so
be in
old.
it.
What? Yeah, he is crazy old.
He's Flash.
Maverick said Scott Eastwood.
Oh, Scott Eastwood would be good.
Apparently, he's like a fan
Tying it
favorite.
back to old Clint.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
Fuck it. Put
Scott
Clint Eastwood
Eastwood
in
would
there.
Fuck yeah.
Let's bring back Logan.
Old-
I'm not
old
trying
man
to get
Logan? Yeah.
Wolverine. I'm trying to get Logan and bring Clint Eastwood as Logan. And I'm in.
Dude, Clint Eastwood's so old.
Wolverine kills the MCU. That's what that would be.
Oh,
Like
man.
just a disgruntled old
Yeah,
Wolverine.
yeah.
Kills everyone. But yeah, I would like Eastwood ain't bad. But
I'll be down.
I don't know. Wolverine also has to be a short guy, and from what I know, Scott Eastwood is like.
Well, Huge
6'2".
Jackman's like 6'7".
I thought Hugh Jackman was not that tall.
No, he's not 6'7", but he is tall.
His wife is 6'7", bro.
Oh, really? Hugh Jackman's pretty tall though.
His wife
Huge
is
Jackman is a man that everyone should look up to. Even with all of his fame and like every woman on earth drooling over him, very humble dude, and stayed with his wife from when he was a substitute teacher.
Yeah, Hugh
and,
Jackman's 6'2".
6'2".
yeah, a little man.
My ass. I'm 5'6". You're 6'1".
Well, you could be the next Wolverine.
I'd be down. Give
Well,
it to
how
me.
tall is Hugh Jackman's wife?
Spouse Deborah Lee Furness doesn't say on this
6'4".
page.
I thought she was.
Played for the WNBA.
Maybe I'm thinking of a completely different like couple.
She's
Anyway.
Australian.
Anyway, back to it. I think that I'm super ready for the MCU to expand because John Krasinski, like I could just see him playing a great,
She's 5'8".
Reed Richards.
Oh yeah, I'm super down.
Like-
Maverick said Eastwood's 5'11", so.
Still, I think Wolverine needs to be like 5'8", 5'9".
Well,
Aaron Edgerton.
Yeah.
I'd be
think
down.
he-
I liked him in Kingsman. I thought he was great.
I think he's good, but
They can
you know-
stick stuff on his face. I don't care. They can CGI the beard and
The
facial hair.
freaking
I
Superman
don't care.
mustache.
they
Like,
can
I
do
don't
it.
care. Like, yeah.
Like what is it? Team America, World Police, or just like glue patches of fur.
If you can de-age,
Freaking
Um,
Carrie Fisher.
Clint
everybody.
Eastwood?
Pretty much everybody these days. If you can
Yeah.
de-age them,
They
you can
did
put
that poorly. So.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Iron
no,
Man's
also
de-aging?
Oh, when they made him a kid.
Orange face and shit when he was trying to.
They made him Donald Trump. All right, So hey, all right.
Spider-Man.
Tom Cruise is 5'6". They make him look 6'2" in all his movies.
Very true.
That's because Tom Cruise is a big old
Hella heel.
5'6" bag of
Just
dick.
had to go there, didn't you?
Fuck Tom Cruise.
I know.
Fucking asshole.
I was waiting for you to say it when I brought up the movie earlier.
I heard
Well,
it,
see,
and I was like,
I
Jason
wanted
missed
to.
it.
I wanted to, but I was gonna let Emily Blunt have her moment. Because Emily Blunt, like, okay, she's John Krasinski's wife. It's like when your friend's wife did something real stupid, but you're like, whatever. I'll let her think it's cool. Like you working with Tom Cruise, you were standing next to a big old 5'6" dick with a fucking center tooth. Fucking asshole.
So
Anyway, hey, Tank, I think that'll wrap it up for this week because we've been going forever.
yeah.
But tell them where to find you, dude.
Man, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. This week, Dungeons and Day Drinkers gets back on track. My family's healthy. I can actually sit down, finish editing, and get the episode out tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys are checking that out. We're also going to try and make some changes with the format and the timing with that. So bear with me as I try and get all that figured out. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Rude, tell them where to find you.
You can find me on Twitter at basically Nuru the Nerd Guru, hunting Taika Waititi down, trying to find out if he's gonna give any crumbs about his new Star Wars movie. And you can find me on Instagram at the same thing. Say again?
We have like 3 years before his movie comes out.
I don't care. He might let something slip.
I'm gonna let something slip. Somebody's wearing shoes at some point. You guys can find me at Houdini0333 on Instagram and the old tweet machine. Brandon, tell them where to find you.
Man, I don't know. Look, all right, a long time ago.
Oh god.
A long time ago, I was like, I'm not gonna do dating sites anymore. You remember?
Yep.
Does
We
everybody
do.
remember this? How long
We do.
ago?
This is the beginning. Like, what was the end of
Beginning of
last
the
year,
year.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year. And I was like, hey, someone let me know what to fucking do. Has anybody been in the chats? No, says I. Has anybody been in the comments on our posts? Nah, fam. So I guess I'm gonna do another dating site. So you can find, since we've been talking about John Krasinski and Mr. Fantastic and everything, you can find me on Silver Singles, where and then go to mingle with other people who may or may not have silver hair. At bmiller425. I don't know if that's actually what that site is for. It's a real site. I have no clue what their niche is. I just saw the name and I made up a niche for it.
Brandon, I thought when you said John Krasinski that you were going to say there's some dating site where the man shows up in a John Krasinski mask and the woman shows up in an Emily Blunt mask. And that's just the way you are.
I wish, yeah. It's like the way it's called the way you
John
are.
Krasinski mask.
The way you are.com, but not really. You gotta be John Krasinski and
Krasinski's the way we are.
yeah, where people go to not be the way they are and actually try to be John Krasinski.
Unreal.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna make Kelsey put on her John Krasinski mask. But hey, from all of us here at the Nerds from Work,
Peace.
peace.
We know each other. He's a friend from
Nice
work.
talking to you guys. You know, I miss you guys every once in a while.